wonderful morning, and I appreciate you braving the potential rain. Although I look out, it doesn't look threatening yet. The paper products here, we have a wonderful food provided by Olive Garden. Thank you so much, Virginia. She adopted our events this summer, a resident, business establishment owner, and wants more civic engagement going on. So please take a few minutes, go make a plate, and then I'll give you about 5 minutes to get situated. We have some amazing community resource partners. I appreciate you going and visiting them. I'm going to give my presentation, and then I'll invite each of them up to give a little intro, 3 to 5 minutes on what they're doing, any highlights of programs going on. So why don't you go ahead and make a plate. I take the opportunity to introduce Dawn Jakubowski. Dawn, say hi.
Lori, I'm going to have you in order running. Should I have to go back through all that again?
I think it's interchangeable. Yeah. Dawn is our legislative director. She's been working with me for 4.5 years in the legislature. She helps me manage all the policy, and we've been cranking it out. So every 2 years, you have to start over. Whatever bills had not been signed into law by the governor, you would have to reintroduce. And within the first 6 months, we have reintroduced just about everything in our portfolio. We've got committee hearings. We've gotten testimony. We're waiting for a few more bills to be voted out, and we're always working on new ideas. And those new ideas largely come from you as community members. When you're seeing a problem that you bring to us, then we look and see, what is the solution? Is it a community-based solution? Is it an educational-based solution? Or is it a policy-based solution? And then we go from there. We have a constituent director in our office. His name is Devin Dudley. He joined us in June. He's usually the first voice you hear when you call the office, or the first response you get from an email asking for more information. We have some amazing staff. They work very hard on our behalf. I am so proud of my team, and just never want to miss an opportunity to say thank you for them. We also are proud to support interns in our office. We have anywhere from 1 to 4 interns on staff any given semester. They're often college students, usually Lansing Community College or Michigan State University, based on their geographic, location. But we have also had U of M students who have driven to have that capital experience, whether in Lansing or in district. We welcome people. So and they don't have to be college students. If you know someone who is interested in what's going on in the legislature, wants to get that kind of inside perspective, they have the opportunity to sit in on meetings, help organize community events, respond to community requests. And we are, as a teacher in my heart, I look for any opportunity to teach at whatever level, and welcome interns into our office. Ground rules for anyone who has not been to a community conversation before. I like to make clear what a conversation is and is not. Community conversations are regular updates of what I'm working on in Lansing. This is transparency and accountability. It's an opportunity for you as residents to ask questions, share your thoughts and concerns, or request assistance in person. For some people, the phone, the internet are barriers, and so it's helpful to have a face-to-face where you can get the information you need. This is not a public debate forum. It is civil discourse, so if you do share your positions, feel free to share your reasoning why. But we don't have back and forth, and ask everyone to be civil with their discourse. One thing that I learned quickly as a state representative is we're not always clear on what a state representative's job is. And so I like to explain, well, we recognize that we're your lawmakers. We create policy. We sit in on committees. We participate in votes and the budget. We are an advocate for community needs. But we are mostly, I identify as customer service for state government. So when you encounter government bureaucracy, that's when you call us. I've had people say, I can't call you, you're too important. They said, we're not clear on the job description, because that is exactly what I'm here for. When you encounter a problem, give us a call. If it's not something that our office deals with directly, we can also help refer you to the correct level of government, to the correct organizations, and help you find that information. We've helped with over 4,200, and that's since 2 months ago, 4,200 requests for assistance in the last 4.5 years. So I'm very proud of that. Our job in the legislature, 365 days a year, is to deliberate on policy. When someone has we hear that's good policy, we support it. That's terrible policy, but we also look at, can we change it? Can we make it better? We ask the questions, how important? Why are we doing this? As a state representative, we represent roughly 90,000 residents. So keep that in mind. You can call, email, attend a community conversation, visit us at the Capitol. I always love when residents are visiting. I personally strive to provide these updates. You get a headline, you get a sound bite from the news, but often it's missing a lot of information and context, and that's something that I can provide, having been a part of that. Whether it's through community conversations, we try to keep up with occasional mailings, e-news, but I also host town halls, round tables. I attend community events, visit local businesses and organizations so that I can be a better liaison and connection between residents and resources. I have the privilege of offering recognitions like certificates, letters of celebration, letters of recommendation, legislative tributes for milestone birthdays, anniversaries, significant community or business events. So if you are aware of something happening in the community, reach out to our office. We'd be happy to connect residents with those recognitions. I also, in addition to community conversations, like to be a guest speaker. Again, that teacher hat is often always on, and I like to share my experience with leadership, local government, citizenship, citizen engagement with local organizations, schools, scout groups, community events. So if you are part of any of those and you'd like to have another voice as a guest speaker or on a panel, please invite me in. I'd be happy to participate. Often it's not unusual to hear, oh, those legislators, I don't know why they're a full-time position, they're only there 90 days of the year. And while we typically are in Lansing Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays of the week, the rest of the week, and I do mean the rest of the weeks, including Saturdays and Sundays, we're in district working with you, whether it's answering emails, making phone calls, taking meetings, visiting, tours. And so it is a full-time job, and it was pointed out to me, our executive branch is full-time, our judicial branch is there full-time, and we as your representatives, you should have a voice in government full-time. This is the part in the program. Usually I expand on what legislation is going on, what I've got working on, but in the summer, in addition to having these amazing picnics, we have the opportunity to bring resource partners in and share what's going on. Because a lot of times people will call and they say, we got a problem. We need more resources. And once they share what their problem is, we go, we've got a solution for that. We've got people in the community who are already working on it. Your tax dollars are often already funding some of these resources. And so it's our opportunity to showcase some of our community partners and let them talk about what they're working on and answer your questions. So I will invite them up for a 3 to 5 minute presentation, and then if you have questions for them, feel free to ask them, and if you want to take up individual requests, you can visit them afterwards. So let me start with Stephanie from Area Agency on Aging. 1B, come on up.
Thank you. So hi everyone, everyone. I'm Stephanie Hall. I'm with the Area Agency on Aging 1B. Hopefully you've had a chance to come visit with me over here a little bit. But what do we do? So we do programming for older adults, those with disabilities, and also programming for caregivers, so caregivers who are caring for a loved one or family member. So we have a wide variety of programming. One of the programs that we're most known for, you might have heard of Meals on Wheels. That's something that we fund in the community. So we have a variety of things, all the way from evidence-based programs that can help older adults with fall prevention, dietitian-funded programming to help you with nutrition services and a variety of those things, all the way to older adults who qualify for Medicaid and might need a little bit more intensive care, but really want to remain in their homes and in their communities. So a lot of what we do is really aimed at programming to help those who want to remain in their homes, in their communities, do that. If that's where they want to stay, which we know most older adults do, we want to provide the resources to help you do that. So some of the programs that we have that y'all might be interested, or you might know people who might be interested. We have this cool program called the MAP program. So if someone you know or yourself qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, we have MAP counselors that you can call every year during open enrollment, and they'll kind of walk you through how to enroll, what program or what plan might be best for you, and they're really good at saving you some money. So we recommend every year when you're re-enrolling to call those counselors. They can help you, keep some money in your pocket, which everyone wants to do. And then, like I mentioned, we have some of those evidence-based programs. Those are really great. I do want to note that most of our programs are not means tested, which means that no matter what your income level is, we don't ask those questions. The only ones that do look at that are, again, our more intensive programs to where you qualify for more like 24-hour care. Those do ask some of those questions. Something that's also pretty interesting to us, and it's a fairly new program, is this program we have called Caregiver Coaching. So if you or someone you know is caring for a loved one, or someone who's disabled and needs a high level of care and you're caring for them, we have this cool program, like I said, called Caregiver Coaching. You can call us and they'll connect you with someone who's been caregiving for some time, and they're willing to help you walk through that array of resources in your community and kind of do that one-on-one work with you to find all the resources that you need to help you care for that loved one. So what I like to say is, when in doubt, we have an 800 number that you can call. You'll talk to a real person who's local, who lives around here and knows the resources. If you give them a call, let them know what you're interested in, or maybe what you think you might be interested in, and they'll point you in the direction of all of the programs that we have ourselves, or also all the programs that we know of within your community that you may qualify for. So if you haven't come and checked our table out yet, come grab some resources. We also have a really cool new Connect guide, which has all the resources laid out in printed version that you can take and you can hand out to those that you work with. So again, with the Area Agency on Aging 1B. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Stephanie. And when Stephanie mentioned Medicare, Medicaid, that made me think of the Medicaid determination process. Michigan has approximately 3 million people who have to go through redetermination on their eligibility. And this is a problem for anyone we don't have contact, the state of Michigan doesn't have contact information on. Because they're going to show up for a doctor's appointment or medical procedure, and they're going to find out that their coverage may have been paused. So this is a year-long process. I think the state has to go through and reapprove eligibility based on income. And this is happening because the federal guidance on Medicaid has transitioned from COVID emergency to non-COVID, no longer being a COVID emergency. If someone in the community has Medicaid and they're having issues with their eligibility, please reach out to our office. There's so many things. So many.
Always.
Let me invite up Stacy from Interfaith Volunteer Caregivers. And I'm not going to step on her toes, but it's an amazing organization that connects residents who want to volunteer their time with residents who have needs. And I'll let you expand on that.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Stacy Conti. I am the Community Outreach Coordinator for Interfaith Volunteer Caregivers. I'm actually Area Agency on Aging is one of our funders, so we work closely with them. We refer a lot of people to Area Agency on Aging, so it's really great to see partners in the community here today. But what we do is we provide free volunteer services to low-income seniors and disabled adults with the hope of helping them stay independent in their own homes and in their own communities longer. So things our volunteers do are trips to the doctors and other urgent appointments that help them keep up on their health care. We do like housekeeping, shopping, indoor and outdoor chores, minor home repairs, and then companionship services like friendly visits and friendly phone calls. Just things that a neighbor would do to help another neighbor, and that's our motto, right? It's neighbors helping neighbors. It's those simple gap filler things that really do make a big difference in helping to keep people independent in their own homes. So we are a completely free service. Help isn't guaranteed. It's just dependent on if we have a volunteer in the area who can assist. But we are always looking for new volunteers to help. It's really great because it's a very flexible program. You can volunteer as much or as little as you want. Anything I mentioned is a volunteer opportunity, whether you like driving people or being on the road and want to drive people to doctor's appointments, or just like meeting somebody new and can visit with somebody for a while once a week. And you can visit, like I said, as much or as little, or volunteer as much or as little as you want. So we have folks that volunteer once a week, once a month, once a year. It's any areas that you want to volunteer in, because we do serve all of Oakland, Macomb, and St. Clair counties. So we do have a pretty wide area, but you tell us where you're willing to serve, what you want to do with us, how often, and we do our best to match your preferences and only ask about requests in those areas. So if you didn't have a chance to go over to my booth, we have brochures. If you know of anybody who could use the assistance, we do have our phone number and our brochure. Feel free to refer people. Again, we do try our best to help. It just depends on if we have volunteers in your area. But we also are always looking for new volunteers, so we have information on that too. We are completely donation-based as well as grant-funded. So we are having fundraisers throughout the year. We have a golf outing coming up in September. So if you're interested in participating in that or learning more about that, I have a flyer about that as well. But again, just simple things that our volunteers do are really making a big difference in the community. We appreciate the community of Warren. We know we have a lot of volunteers from there. We have a lot of people we help from there. So appreciate this community as well as all the other communities we serve. And I'd be happy to answer any questions. Yes.
We have a large number of seniors in Warren, and they don't have the means to pay to cut their grass cut.
Yeah.
They cry out on Facebook, "Can somebody help me, please, please?" And the city of Warren has no help.
Yeah.
Okay, and then it escalates to they get a vote notice at first, and then it turns into $170 or something, I don't know, ticket. Would your volunteer group have the capability to help any seniors that just don't have the money to pay, $25 a week or whatever to cut grass?
So unfortunately, that's kind of one of our, I guess, obstacles is that we don't have enough volunteers to keep up with the amount of people who need grass cutting regularly. So across the board, we normally don't do grass cutting or snow shoveling for those reasons, because we can't help one person and not another. But in the event that they do get that blight notice or the notice from the city, we've had instances where people call us in that desperate state, and we've had a volunteer been able to go and do that one-time cut to help them get out of that ticket or whatever it might be. So we've helped in those situations, but I'd say on the regular, the maintenance part of that, unfortunately, we don't assist. And it's hard because I know Macomb County, you have to get on their wait list super far in advance, like in the winter for the summer season. And that's crazy. But unfortunately, we can't assist. But if you do know somebody who's in like a desperate situation, give us a call. We'll see what we can do. We do try our best. Yes.
I'll add on to that.
Yeah.
Nobody tells us how to get on that list.
Yeah.
The county does not give us any information, the city does not get any information,
Yeah.
and people are desperate to know how to get on the county list.
Correct.
I have never heard of you.
I was gonna.
You don't advertise yourself, you don't advertise, you're not
Well,
on Facebook. No, I'm not accusing.
Yeah.
So how can we beg you to start telling us how to get on the county list?
So that would be better directed to myself or county commissioners. Local county commissioners will be happy to help direct that. One of the things that as state legislators we've identified as problem is often first of all, our community partners are excellent stewards of tax dollars, but there is not often a budget for PR and marketing. Well, 100, I don't want to say speak to your budget specifically, but most of the money that they're allocated goes to direct services. And so they don't set aside a huge amount for PR and administrative, just because they want tax dollars to go towards direct services as much as possible. So it is definitely one of our shortcomings is we have these amazing programs. They're excellent resources. They're excellent stewards of dollars because dollars and resources are limited. And so how do we make sure? And that's part of what our community conversation aims to get at, and partnering and elevating these. And so any opportunities to get on a mailing list, take a card home, and that's the other piece. You guys have the opportunity to be here firsthand, get this information. My ask is for anything you take for yourself, take 2 or 3 for someone else on your block. When you hear a neighbor that's saying, boy, we got a problem, say, I was there, I heard about this. We try to elevate these organizations as much as possible, connect people and get on mailing lists. But that's often one of our roles is being that connector between our amazing community partners and residents who need these resources. But thank you for raising that.
Phone number or a website.
Yeah, so I can give you our phone number. It's 586-757-5551. Or our website is www.ivcinfo.org. We also are on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram. We're new to the socials, but we are on those sites. We're always advertising things, so appreciate the support and especially in community events like this. It's a great way we get our word out, right? We come out to things like this and be able to spread the word. So we appreciate you having us today.
And thank you, Earl.
Yep,
Thanks
I
for
did the same
reminding me. Sometimes I forget, like, we have an amazing resource. Earl and his wife Pam record a lot of these community events, and then we reshare them on Facebook so that you have this information, and then you're like, there was an organization, they were great, I can't remember what they are. You can go back to the Facebook link and rewatch it, or you can direct someone else who's looking for resources to this recording.
It's a partnership. It takes more than Pam and I.
Oh, absolutely, Earl, and just thank you for your time and your resources. Just making sure that this isn't a one-off, right? Like once this is recorded, this is available to the public. And so yeah, so if you're sharing, feel free to share an email, phone number, or send people to a website, because then as this is replayed, people will have that. That's a great idea. I didn't even think about that, Earl. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Lauren, you want to come talk about Disability Network? I always want to jump the gun because Disability Network is another amazing community partner, and they offer so much, but I will leave you to it.
Thank you so much, Representative Stone. It's been so nice working with you over the years. You've been such a supporter of Disability Network. There are 15 disability networks throughout the state of Michigan. We are federally and state funded. You can find disability networks throughout the entire country. And often I'm our public policy and outreach specialist, and many people say, we've never heard of Disability Network, so I appreciate this opportunity to spread the word, and I hope you come visit my table and take some flyers so we can help you, your friends, and your family. So what we do, we're a nonprofit agency. We assist people all ages, all disabilities. If you have a newly acquired disability, you don't know where to turn, we can be your first place to reach out to. Our telephone number is 586-268-4160. Our website, www.dnemichigan.org. And we are on Facebook, Instagram, all the social media, regularly updating the programs that we offer. One new exciting program that we are now offering, we're a Focus Hope Food Distribution Box Center. We're located in Troy. We are at 15 in John R. We cover 7 counties actually. It used to be just Disability Network Oakland and Macomb, but we've acquired the Thumb, so we have 5 counties in the Thumb for a total of 7 counties. We assist veterans. We have adaptive recreation programs that we've recently started, which has really taken off. We host classes at our office in Troy, and some of our recreation programs are virtual. So that's really nice. If you don't have access to come to us, you can participate from your home via Zoom using your computer at home. We also have a Medicaid Medicare assistance program, much like Area Agency on Aging. We have counselors who can assist during the Medicaid redetermination or the re-enrollment for Medicare. Yeah, we do a lot of things. If you have any questions, please come visit. And if you have a question,
Java, what I see on Facebook all the time are people begging to borrow a wheelchair just for 6 weeks because someone is in a wheelchair
Surgery.
or a walker.
We
You
have
a closet?
we do at our office in Troy, and I forgot to mention, a medical loan closet. We have lots of wheelchairs, crutches, a variety of items, and you can keep them for as long as you need, free of charge. And you can come get that at our office in Troy, and I have a flyer for our loan closet.
Oh, great, thank
Yeah.
you.
Yes, thank you, Lauren.
Thank you.
They're doing adaptive kayaking, they're doing off-roading events.
Yeah,
What were
disability
some
dirt
other-
days.
Yeah,
I
dirt
would
days.
golf, adaptive golf,
Yes.
kayaking, yeah.
So so one of my, Disability Network was one of the first places I toured when I took office in 2019, and it just blew my mind what was available out there. And so I've championed disability rights and accessibility and inclusion in the legislature. One of my priorities has been Liam's Law, which is around adding more adaptive technology to restrooms, which include universal height adjustable changing tables. If nobody's ever asked what happens when you age out or size out of an infant changing table, and often that answer is changing themselves on the bathroom floor or on the back of vehicles, or not leaving because they don't have access to basic hygiene in public spaces. And so it's important that people in our community and Disability Network, it really makes you open your mind to what a disability is, right? So often we think with people with physical or mobility issues, but it's also visual impairment, hearing impairment, cognitive issues. They work with people to be self-advocates. So not just having people who are being voices for them. They teach people how to use their voices and ask for what they need. We've done work around public transportation and making sure those needs are being met. So definitely pay a visit and say hi and get that information out there. Next up, let me have Nancy Latham join me from MSU Extension. She does deals with financials, but our MSU Extension is housed. It's around 8.5 at Hoover at the Thompson Center.
Yep.
And they have amazing resources. Not only are they home to MSU Extension, but they're also home to Macomb Action Network.
Community action.
Macomb Community Action, yeah. We have 4-H locally in the community offered. And I'll let you talk about your area of expertise, which is something that many people in the community who are struggling to make budgets stretch, they can tap into your resources.
Hi. Thank you, Lori, very much for having this again. I think I did it with you since you started.
Yes.
We've been doing these. So, I'm a financial and home ownership education instructor, is what my formal title is. I have actually 2 offices. The one in Warren is my main office. I also have an office at the Verkulen building. So I'm in Verkulen on Mondays and Fridays. I'm in Warren Tuesdays through Thursdays. And the reason for that is the county is so large, and I work mostly with people who are financially struggling. So people can't necessarily get from Warren to Clinton Township, or vice versa, or from the north end of the county down to Warren. So I have the 2 offices, we maintain it. I have 2 wonderful admins, one in each office. They try and keep me in line. It doesn't work. So, but anyway, I teach home buyer education to first-time home buyers. The definition, according to the state of Michigan, for a first-time home buyer is someone who has not owned a home in 3 years. The state has a great down payment assistance program. Our home buyer class is a required class in order to get those funds. Plus you have to work with a Michigan approved lender. But anyway, So we also have a lot of webinars, all kind of money related. Make a spending plan work for you, mortgage foreclosure basics, tips to build and protect your credit, to protect your credit. Wow. Okay. Financial preparedness for disasters. How many people have a financial plan if there's a disaster? Right. Is anybody able to make it through a disaster financially? If you're interested in starting a small business, we offer a class on savvy tips for starting a small business. Retirement myths and facts. Are you really prepared to be able to retire? Protecting your identity. Identity theft is sky high, and it has been since COVID started. And Michigan, I think, is the third highest state of identity theft in the country. I think we rank third now. So, and then one of my favorites is a class called Who Gets Grandma's Yellow Pie Plate? And what that's about is who decides what, how is it going to be handled when someone passes? What do you do with everything they have? Who's getting what? How do you decide that type of thing? So it's a fun class. All of our webinars are free. The home buyer education class does carry a $25 fee, but if you are low income, we have scholarship funds so that you can take the class for free. I also do a lot of one-on-one counseling for people who need to work on their credit or their budget. And I don't like budget. Usually call it a spending plan. Budget kind of makes you go, don't you when you think of a budget?
It's like a diet. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So we do, I call it a spending plan. We also offer foreclosure intervention services. So if you're facing a mortgage foreclosure or property tax foreclosure or anything like that, we help you work with your lender and or the treasurer's office, whatever we're trying to work out, to hopefully help you be able to stay in the home. The state received some COVID funds, and the program, and this is a different foreclosure work. We do foreclosure work all the time, but the MyAF program, it's the Michigan Housing Homeowner Assistance Fund. And it's great. If you are financially impacted, either by a loss of income and or an increase in expenses due to COVID, and you're a homeowner, you may qualify for the funds. It is not a loan, it's a grant. Last year, so in 22, it started, by the time it really got off the ground, it was about March. We assisted, let's see, I forgot how many households. 132 households in Macomb County from March through December of last year. We helped them with the MyAF applications to a total of $938,391 that was given out in assistance for people to be able to keep their homes. So feel free to contact us anytime. Like I said, I've got 2 offices. If you call the main number, it goes to the voicemail and you will get a return call as long as one of the admins is working. You'll get a call within a day. So, because they kind of share answering phone calls. So other than home buyer ed, all our services are free.
Any questions?
Questions?
Nancy, yeah.
I always have a question.
Yes.
Do you have any classes at Who Gets Me When I Die? Because if I get killed going home, I have no parents, no children, and 12 brothers and sisters. Who gets to decide how I'm buried?
Well,
What's the Michigan law on who, there is Michigan law on who gets to decide how I'm buried? And do you have any classes on that?
no, we don't. But I'm in the process of taking care of all of that for myself already.
And we have a brochure on that. We have a brochure on everything.
But can you consider putting out a class together? So, because a lot of people have no idea what the law is.
Well, and that might be more like legal aid, legal services, but you know, you
But it
reach out
could
and
be-
you express a need.
It could be a joint venture.
Yeah.
A joint venture would be wonderful.
There you go.
Mine says it in my.
And that's where I'll let you guys take it away.
Thank you. Well, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jason Alessandro. This is my coworker, Anna White. I work at the Roseville, Michigan Works. Anna's at the Warren, Michigan Works office. Just in case anyone doesn't know, we have offices in Warren, Clinton Township, Mount Clemens, Roseville. And for those of you that have friends and family in St. Clair County, we also operate the Michigan Works office in Port Huron. Just to let you know a little bit about what we do, a lot of times people, they think they know what we do, but they're not really sure, or you're the unemployment office, or things like that. So our agency is basically designed for those that are looking for work. And when we say that, that could be a lot of different scenarios. It could be maybe someone who's worked at a company for 20, 25, 30 years, recently has gotten laid off, and now they're coming into our office, so we're meeting with them, talking to them about, you know, what they want to do when they grow up, or, you know, maybe the person was kind of, you know, jumped from job to job, looking for a new career path, trying to really find that great new career that can kind of springboard them into a new line of work. So our services at a level are pretty much open to everyone. We do have some additional services that involve, you know, eligibility and suitability that we'd be more than happy at the office to talk to any one of your friends about, where we could sit down, but we also have some great workshops. I've had the chance to talk to many of you today to spread the word. A lot of times people are a little worried about, oh, resume, what does a resume look like and how does it get done? And gosh, I haven't been to an interview in 5, 10, 15 years. How does that get done? We have some great workshops that are open to the public where we just ask you to register with our resume workshop. You'll spend almost a day with us and walk away with a great new professional resume. We also have, like I mentioned, some great workshops on interviewing, just to kind of bring you up to task because they've changed. We also have some great workshops on social media. You know, a lot of times people are a little, you know, they're a little nervous or concerned about social media and the role that it plays. Our social media workshops are to help you in the job market and the role that it could play as far as helping you, you know, get a new job. We also have some great services as far as assessments. Maybe you don't know what you want to do next. So we can sit down with you, give you some assessments on helping you with that new career path as well. If you're a veteran or you know of any veterans, we have veteran services where you can come on in. We'll meet with you. If you meet some qualifications, we can refer you to our state representative, our state veterans representative that is housed in our office, or can come to one of our offices that can communicate with you.
Yes, and I was going to say, also we have different things. We know of different apprenticeship opportunities available. So if you come into Michigan Works, you can just simply come in and ask to speak with a career planner, and we will go through different opportunities with you. We have the CSEP program, for example, which is for older adults 55 and older looking to return to work. We also have the Young Professional program for 16 to 24-year-olds, and we help the youth find employment, training. We have on-the-job training, which sometimes we partner with employers to help you learn a new skill. And Michigan Works will pay, like reimburse the employer half the wages for a certain amount for you to learn that new skill. And there's just many apprenticeship opportunities available. Henry Ford has some, Macomb Community College has apprenticeship programs for medical assistant, CNA, I think pharmacy tech. So those are opportunities we know of. We know of different grants you might qualify for. There's Michigan Reconnect grant, so there's certain grants available to help people to get their associate's degree, or any like short-term training. So those are different opportunities we have available. So once again, we have an employment advisor. So an employment advisor would really focus on working with our customers on resume and job search. And we have our business account managers that work directly with the employers in the community to help them find talent and help make sure we're addressing and training people in the fields that are considered in demand. So please come visit Jason and I at our booth. We have many handouts. We have our in-demand occupation list that lists all the in-demand occupations in Macomb St. Clair currently. And hopefully we'll see the community at one of our offices soon. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, and I really appreciate you talk about all the groups. I mean, we've got young people looking for jobs. We've got people who are looking for a second chapter, a second career. We have people who are, retired, but they're not done. They want to do something with their time. And there's so many resources. At the state level, we've really invested in, covering tuition for people who want to repurpose and find a new career pathway, but they need the training to do it. So there's more resources than ever. I just really appreciate everyone who took time out of their busy schedules to join us here today. Thank you for our community partners who are there all year round. And thank you. One of the things that as I'm thinking and I'm hearing feedback is, is there an opportunity for us at the state legislature who have, followings locally on our Facebook to elevate and some of our community resource partners on our Facebook, so those can then be shared out with community members. So we're always thinking about how can we do this better? What does it look like? So again, August 19th at Wishegan Park at 11 a.m. Olive Garden will be back for more food. There is a few takeaway bag boxes, and there is more pasta, more breadsticks, more salad. Don't let it go to waste. Take something for lunch, take something for later. I make myself available for questions. If you guys have anything, come see me. But other than that, have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful weekend.